I think it would be a big mistake at this point in our history. For ever since the founding of the country, there have been many proposals by states, which requires two-thirds of them to institute it to get it going. And all of those proposed conventions have failed. In other words, they never came to pass,
Right.
for the very simple reason that the organizers realized there's no way to limit it. You could put delegates in a convention, and in that convention, the delegates would have government making power, a tremendous amount of authority that the people who created our country had in the beginning. And for that reason, there has never been an Article 5 convention.
Right. So for over 200 years, there's been we've known about Article 5. It's been in. It's not like it's new, right? So Article 5 has been in, been in the Constitution since its beginning, and it was James Madison and George Mason kind of were on two sides of it. So the idea of an Article 5 convention really goes as far back right to our founding, right to the center arguments between particularly those two men. But we also see kind of how Richard Henry Lee and Francis Lightfoot Lee kind of took two sides to the core of like where the government lies, a strong central government versus families and individuals controlling the government. So it's a very interesting perspective, Don. Now, you've had some history with this as well, haven't you?
I have. I've been working with it for many years. As a matter of fact, in 1983, I was very much surprised to hear that we were only 2 states away from solidifying the call for a constitutional convention.
Really?
Article 5 convention, yeah. I didn't know it. It wasn't a big issue. It was just kind of casually brought up. And I thought, hey, wait just a minute. We've got a problem here.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I went to work immediately. I had a few friends working with me, and there were many chapter leaders of the John Birch Society around the country who were also concerned. So they arranged for me to go from one state to the next to testify at legislative hearings against the calling of a convention under Article 5.
So you said you were able to sit with legislature or with legislatures,
State legislators,
right, across the nation to be able to say to challenge the idea of the applications. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not only the idea, but regardless of the idea, because a convention is idealist. In other words, you cannot confine it to an idea or an ideal or a subject.
Correct. So the convention, Article 5, it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. If it's called, it's called.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
So it's not there for just the conservative movement or people who love the Constitution. It can also be there if the population and the legislatures are on the complete opposite side, and they want to destroy the Constitution. They could call a convention because the legislatures decided they want to call the convention.
Yes.
Okay, that's very interesting. So, and what were those efforts like? Was it successful?